tendency to ghost people? Well, there are a lot of reasons because not all INFPs are the same, but usually it boils down to two reasons. The first is that INFPs, we typically take a long time to process things, sometimes even years. So when something that sort of hits us, something big hits us emotionally, because we have such big emotions, it takes a while for us to navigate them. First of all, we try and figure out what exactly am I feeling right now. We try to identify the emotion. And then we kind of, once we sort of figure out what it is, we sit in it for a minute and think about, why do I feel this way? What caused this? And we think about the people who are involved with our feelings, who may have triggered them or whatever. All of that takes a lot of time. Like I said, in weird cases like me, because I'm weird, sometimes that can take years. But in other cases, it can take like weeks or maybe even a couple of months. And the INFP is just literally sitting there processing everything that they're feeling. And while they're processing it, because they're unsure of everything, they're unsure of how they're going to react to the person who's involved. Um, they're unsure of how the person will react to them. Usually, what we do is avoid them. It's not because we don't like the person, it's not because we're trying to punish them or anything like that. It's because we're confused. We are confused and trying to process our wild emotions. And I know that can be really hard to believe by looking at an INFP's outside appearance, because usually we appear very much like, I don't know, potatoes. Like, just, that's weird to say, but we're just kind of blank, like, just quiet a lot of times. But that's not the way we are on the inside. On the inside, there's like lightning storm after lightning storm. There's a lot going on. So unfortunately, I guess, the way that we deal with, especially upset feelings that we're not sure what to do with, or just, weird situations, is we back away from the people who are involved. We distance ourselves so we can figure out what's going on. And then we'll go back to the person and try and talk about it, or or just let it go if we figure, you know what, we don't need to even talk about this. Let's just let it go and move forward. So it's usually not a mean-spirited thing. It's not like we're trying to punish someone or give them the silent treatment. It's just that we take a long time to process things. A second reason why INFPs may tend to ghost people is is that they feel threatened. And I think this is across the board, not just for INFPs, but for most people. I think this is a general thing. But I do know there have been occasions where I have felt threatened by someone. And it's it's taken me a long time, or it took me a long time to come to the conclusion that, you know what, if continue to call this person, to hang around this person, I'm going to get hurt, probably physically and emotionally. And it took a long time for me to figure that out. For other people, it probably wouldn't have taken years, but for me, it did. And so there was a point where I said, I can't do this. I cannot be around this person anymore. So I blocked them on my phone. Um, they weren't on social media anyway, but um, and I made sure that I would stay away from them. Like if they were going to a party, I would not go to that party. So in those cases, those are kind of extreme though. And I don't think that happens very often, but every once in a while you come across someone in your life who may have been a close friend or someone you were in a relationship with. And all of a sudden, the INFP starts to realize, you know what, this behavior that I've been accepting is hurtful and it's really bad. And so they decide to ghost that person. Usually there is no Like, I didn't even bother to give an explanation. I was just like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. So I think a lot of INFPs do that. Now, all that said, every INFP is different. I know I keep saying that, but that's because it's just true. We're not, you can't like put us all in the same box. You can't do that with any personality type. So there are INFPs who are either unhealthy or because they were raised a certain way, they might ghost people out of spite. That's not the average INFP, I don't think, because most of the INFPs I've met, the other ones other than me, are like sweet and kind and they don't want to hurt people. They're usually very gentle, very sensitive. So they don't like to make people feel bad about themselves. But that said, I have met here and there a few INFPs who I don't know if they just had something else going on emotionally, but they seemed a little unhealthy. Or because of the way they were raised, they did ghost people out of spite. I do think that's rare, but it does happen. So, if you've been ghosted by an INFP, I'm sorry. And I hope that, things work out. But I guess that's all I have to say for this video. Thank you for watching, and if you have any thoughts about INFP's ghosting, like if that's something that's happened to you, please feel free to share your experience and how it made you feel, because I think that would be good for us INFPs to see how it makes other people feel when we do that to them, just so we know what we're doing. Um, and honestly, like I think about the times that I have ghosted people because I was in that moment of confusion where I didn't know, I didn't understand what I was feeling, and I just felt like I need to get away for a second and figure all this out. And I think I wish that I had the ability to handle that a different way. But to be honest, I just don't know how. So if you have any thoughts on that as someone who is an INFP with more experience, or if you're not an INFP and you just have advice about that, please feel free to share that. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.